Welcome to Up, Up, and Away, the restaurant marketing podcast, saving the world from bad marketing, brought to you by Qubriux, the all-in-one platform for loyalty and customer engagement. In today's topic, we're going to get into beating the weekday blues, busting the restaurant sales during slow times. That is a great title, by the way. We have Arun, who is the founder and CEO of Qubriux. He's a tech veteran with over 2 decades of experience. For Qubriux, he was the principal data scientist and architect for developing Starbucks' personalized customer engagement platform, which my ex-wife is currently using because I gave her a gift card last week. And I am Rev Ciencio, hospitality marketing consultant, tech evangelist, content creator, and co-founder and CMO at Handcraft Burgers and Brew in New York City, and also Salad House in New Jersey. Man, I do a lot of stuff. Who's busy in the middle of the afternoon on Monday? Maybe Salad House, but maybe not most other restaurants, right? Why are we having so much trouble driving traffic mid-morning? Have you tried to think, literally, have you come up with like everything you possibly can to drive sales during the holiday rush? Like we're all battling like slower day parts, slower times of the year. There's ebbs and flows and all this thing, and we struggle with this stuff all the time. Those times when only the sound of the gentle hum of the refrigerator and your staff are playing a very serious video game of who can fold the most napkins. That slow doesn't have to mean no dough, though. Okay. So on one hand, those are good times to shoot content for social media. That's what we do at Handcraft Burgers and Brew. We're slow. It's a great time to get content. But hey, listen, we're paying the rent and we're paying our staff and we're paying utilities. We're paying all these other things. So ideally, we would rather be busy serving guests, right, Arun?
Yes.
Absolutely. It was not a gotcha question. In this episode, we are busting the myth that there's nothing you can do about slower day parts. We are serving up a feast of strategies to turn those crickets into cash and keep your restaurant buzzing. We're going to go through this step by step so you have an actual playbook and how to execute this. Are you ready, buddy?
Indeed. Yes.
Okay, so this episode we're gonna do a little bit different than normal. Normally, Arun and I just kind of like go through a conversation here and share some details. In this one, we actually kind of want to give you a step-by-step playbook and some ideas on how to execute slower times. I'm pretty excited about this. In fact, this came together when we were writing it, and I'm stoked because this is how my brain works.
Rob, a quick detour for a few minutes, right? I have few, currents of thoughts happening in my mind. Just we are starting the topic, but let me just bring it up. Okay. Uh, I think first we need to understand this phenomena of slow traffic, right? So I would say, let me define it. One is hotspot. Hotspot is your high traffic, and cold spot when you don't have enough traffic. So what happens is that, see, consumers have got an organic behavior of, buying things and where they are, right? Let's say, for example, you take your restaurants and maybe assume that, it's weekday evenings, like Wednesday evening, and it's pretty slow. But somewhere else in that vicinity, something is busy. Maybe it's your gym in the neighborhood area, right? It's just that consumers are, their preference for that time of the day is to do something else. Okay. So a certain kind of cold spot in your restaurant is just purely because they prefer some other location, some other activity on that part of the time. It has nothing to do with your food or it's just organic consumer habits. Certain other things are just like, can you sell ice cream when it's like minus 10 degrees Celsius out there?
Oh,
You just
I eat ice cream in the winter.
can you sell hot tea during when it's 120 outside? Maybe not. I'm just saying that.
No, 100%. Look, it's the same thing here, like in New Jersey. Like there are places on the Jersey Shore that like the population just isn't the same in December as it is in July. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So my point is that there is certain. First thing is that which Ravi is going to speak about in his playbook. Of course, you look into the data and understand your hotspots and when is your cold spot or when is your slow traffic. And in the case that one thing you can do is that you can do effective partnership by understanding where are your consumer hanging out during those cold spots. For example, if you are doing healthy food, juices and other healthy foods, you can partner with your gyms in this area to do certain campaigns and then attract those customers to your healthy food for maybe a dinner. I'm giving you a certain example strategies, and this is understanding the where your consumers are hanging out, and then if you can effectively use that as a channel to get them into your restaurant is a good strategy.
I agree. Yeah, it doesn't always have to just be a discount or more marketing of the same.
That's what my point is, that right? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I used to work with a barbecue restaurant, and like, you know who's eating barbecue on Monday nights? Nobody, because everybody like we did that all weekend, right? So we're going to the gym, we're at the smoothie place, we're at the salad place. I mean, that's kind of most people. I'm joking a little bit, and he was like, "No, I'm not accepting this." And so he created this like artisan burger program on Monday night. So rather than doing a discount or going the happy hour route or just closing, he was like, I'm going to do these crazy high end burgers. There's going to be 25 available only. It's only on Monday nights. It's a different burger every Monday night. He brought in guest chefs, collaborations, blah, blah. And like you literally couldn't get a seat after like 90 days. Like it was like the most popular burger in New York City for the time he ran that program. You know what I mean?
Right. So, Rev, are we now going through your playbook?
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So I agree this is a huge battle. So I think, right, how do we get started? And you kind of just led into it, which is talk about you gotta analyze your data, right? So what do you think? You're the data guy. What does that look like?
Oh, you start with your basic exploratory analysis. Just look at which week part and day part, right? Which weekday and day part are the slow times, and is it consistently slow? Correct. If it's consistently slow, it represents an organic consumer behavior. Like it's just that's how the business is by organically. If you don't incentivize your customers to change their habit, that's how it will look like. Now, second is that it just happened that certain months or certain uh, during certain events or certain months, I have slow traffic on certain days. Now that means that there's some kind of a correlation. Maybe that, oh, in summers it's like my Wednesdays or Thursdays dinner is like it's a slow time, but it just picks up back in winter, right? Then sometimes we can do some sort of a correlation to understand what could be the reason, and then say that, let's say that is assume that my summer is a slow season for weekday dinner, but winter it is not. Now, correlating that to what kind of products is being sold less during summer, right, will give you an insights that why it is happening. Then you can uh, augment, you can mitigate that slow traffic by understanding what are the more popular products being sold during summer, and say that who are the customers who typically will be uh, showing propensity for those popular products, and then you do promotions on that. So you basically you understand what are the slow periods, and then see that what other data points is correlated to that, and then use that to help the situation mitigate it.
For sure. And I say this all the time. I think half of restaurant marketing is a hunch. Like you kind of know, and the data really should just either back up, inform, or correct, right?
Right.
And to your point, like yes, what are your slow times? Why do they happen? Blah blah. I think it's also important to look at for the customers that are already coming in those slow times. Why are they coming then? Where are they coming from? What's driving it? Right. And so you could be looking at sources of traffic to your website during a day part, or you could literally anecdotally ask the customer that's there Monday at 3 p.m. like, do you have a job? Maybe don't ask that. My point is like, I think you have to have a lot of data around why somebody visits during that time, that not just when you have the times, because that helps you think about what's a driver, right? And then, we're talking about analyzing your data, but I think you can also analyze your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like if you looked at your data and you say, look, Monday's at 3 o'clock, we're dead. I don't know why. There's 4 or 5 people here. They're always ordering wraps. I'm making this up. You have some data. I would then walk around your neighborhood and be like, what businesses are busy at 3 p.m. on Monday? And why are they busy? Is it where they're located? Is it the service that they're offering? Do they have a deal running? Like, do they have a different marketing? And once you kind of understand your data, right? You understand your customers' preferences. You understand why they're making that move, and then what the available marketplace is. I think you're kind of set. Like that's a good Dan. Would you agree that's like the analyzation set to have?
Yeah, makes sense. Yes, because someone else is busy when during your slow time, because that's what the people are going to.
Yes, and going back to the Jersey Shore example, if it's December, there's nobody at the shore. But there's somebody. All right, God bless. Okay, so step one, analyze your data. Totally agree. Let's go. Step two, okay. We have all that data in order. What's next now that we have all this data in order?
So then, you create segments of customers, right? You understand uh, who, you know, you try to name those customers. So let's say that, I see that certain days or certain day parts is slow. Now you look at which are the customers who are coming in other, who are doing coming during the busy time but not during the slow time. So how do I who are they? Are they these young, people with between 20 and 30 years, or are these people who are typically eating burgers? So I know that everybody, generally my burger sale is good during every day except Thursday. Now I know that there's a dip in that product sale, which kind of corresponds to people who are eating burgers, right? So you kind of try to understand what is the common characteristics of people who are not showing up. That means is that you have some sort of a CRM or maybe a loyalty program to even to identify who are those people. Like if you don't have any CRM, no loyalty program, you can't even understand who are those people, right? Then you are like pretty much you have to you cannot do any sort of segmentation. Your ability to analyze the situation drastically drops. Then you pretty much have to shoot in the dark, and you have to just pretty much say that, and Wednesday is my slow time. I'm just going to do some sort of a sales promotion independent of any analysis you can do on your customers. So that again, I mean, I've always been telling people, right? Have some sort of a CRM, have some sort of a loyalty program, or have the mail some basic version of it, maybe an email club, right? Have it so that you can at least do some objective analysis on your customers and customer trends.
For sure. And look, I agree. CRM is, I don't know how to operate without one, but you don't need a sophisticated CRM. PRS, sorry, PS for everybody. Qubriux has a great CRM. But if you're not using Qubriux, you're using something like Mailchimp. Like you could look at your data just by like days. Like you could download from your POS and be like, okay, this is people who come on Wednesdays. It's not that hard. This is people who come on Saturdays, or these are people that only dine, during lunch. Like that kind of segmentation is kind of easy to do even if you don't have a CRM. I'll give you a working example. Okay, at Handcraft Burgers and Brew, we're in Bryant Park. We're 2 blocks from Times Square. It's a lot of traffic, right? But who are those people? Oh, it's tourists. It's people that work in the area. It's foodies. It's locals. Like we have done a little bit of understanding to know that, like, essentially, if you're eating there on a Saturday and Sunday, you're either a destination diner who lives in town or tourists, right? If you're eating there, Monday through Friday after 5 p.m., you probably work in the buildings next door to us. If you're eating in the middle of the day, Monday through Friday, you're probably a tourist. Like it's we've created those segments to understand, hey, we kind of know who our audience is by just looking at the data, right? You know what's funny too? This is great. This is actually taking a step forward in our conversation. I ran an analysis. You'll love this. I said, okay, what's the best day of the week to send email? Most people would tell you like Wednesday or Thursday at 10 in the morning, right? Like that's sort of the standard answer. This is what we did. I went into our CRM and I said, okay, email's a retention tool, right? That's how I get guests to come back. So what day are my guests most likely to return? So I went to my CRM and I said, okay, show me everybody who only dines on Mondays, but has been here more than twice. Then the same thing for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I can see which day of the week I'm most likely, what's the highest value of repeat guests. Okay, we're in Times Square, New York City. What do you think our busiest day of the week is for repeat guests? Most people would think Friday or Saturday, right? It's burgers, it's burgers, fries. You're not eating burgers on Mondays. It's actually Wednesday. Wednesday is our highest day for retention. So that's the day we send our email.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, let's move forward. Okay, so step one, analyze your data. Step two, we got to create segments so we have an understanding of our guests. Okay, I'm guessing the next thing is we got to come up with campaigns. We have to action these.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me an example of a campaign you tried. I just sort of stepped into that, but what's a campaign you tried or that you understand?
One thing which we can do in segmentation is that, you can look at, for example, products, right? So you can say that, let's say Thursdays, I see that typically my burgers are selling high on, on an average, let's say, I'm just say 100 burgers on a day. It could be more, but it's saying, let's take a number, 100 is a good number. But on Thursdays, I see that I only sell like 50 burgers on Thursday night. What would be my strategy to increase the sales on Thursday? Now, one strategy could be understand who are my, if since the one strategy could be just boost the sales of burgers itself, because that is the one which is dipping. So I understand people who are like burger lovers, create a campaign, ask them to come on a Thursday. That could be one campaign. Okay. So that's very simple. You're trying to understand the deep and you're trying to address the deep in terms of the product sales. Okay. Now, another strategy could be that who are the people who typically come on weekdays versus weekends? Okay. Who are those weekday people? And then create a campaign targeting just for weekday people. So because their habits already reflect that they're coming on weekdays. Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So I'm just basically saying that just amplify people's habits and project those habits into your cold spot, your slow traffic days.
Sure. I'm going to give a really simple example, right? If Monday is your slow day, how about double points for all loyalty members?
Of course, yeah.
Like these are the types of things where it's like you don't have you can get as complicated as you want here, but sometimes there's simple fixes that just a little of this, a little of that. We did another one at Salad House. We ran a data analysis again. We looked at the data. We created a segment. We realized that 3 out of 4 purchases at Salad House happened before 3 p.m. All of our stores are open till 8. Like that, there's an opportunity there. Like people will eat salad for dinner. You can get proteins on it. People go to steakhouses. What's the first thing they order? A wedge, right? A Caesar. So we were like, okay, let's try to drive traffic after 5 p.m. by offering people a free app.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can do all those mass marketing tactics. You can have free events there, right? Having a jazz event on a fine dining restaurant on a slow day, that could help, right?
For sure. All right. What's another example of a campaign? After again, you've gone through your data, you've thought of something like what's an actual tactic?
You can take a look at. I mean, we already talked about that. Take a look at what your competitors are doing, and then try to replicate that. It could be competitors or your own, also your complementary businesses.
Yeah,
So
I
that
would
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was saying that requires a good understanding of the of your local business dynamics.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna give I think most people, myself included, kind of in this moment default to a promotion. Happy hour, $5 off this, buy one get one free, get that. Like I think a discount. Like that's kind of where we go. It's standard, it works. It's not a bad idea. I would encourage our listeners here to think about how do you go premium. Okay, so like for example, one of the restaurants I work with, they're not that busy on Sundays as they want to be. So they do like a lamb shank meal for 2. It's a fast casual restaurant on Sunday afternoons. It's only available Sunday afternoons, and it's $40 for 2 lamb shanks with like couscous and vegetables. Like it's like something you would get at a fine dining restaurant at a fast casual restaurant, and it's delicious. There are people that come every single Sunday, like just get that lamb shank dinner. You know what I mean?
Right, right. But Rev, there's only one thing is that will basically then now people will know that what Sunday this typical promotion of the people who would have come on Saturdays, they will delay their visit to Sunday so they get discount, right? So a problem with discount is that it's a good tool, but when you shoot in the dark without when you do it without an objectivity and without having a specific objective and a segmentation supporting that discount strategy, then it can go bad. Discounting should never be a shoot in the dark kind of an approach. Like it can never be like open to all, come anybody on Sundays, we are going to have discount. Then people will basically start tuning and then they will just say everybody will be pouring in on Sundays, then it won't work out.
For sure. But okay, so another example. Let's say you're walking around your neighborhood, you're not busy on Wednesday nights, and all these other places are busy because they have events. it's karaoke, it's bingo, it's and live music, whatever. Like that's not a discount, right? That's an offer. And so what can you do that is also like if that's what people in your neighborhood want on Wednesday night, they don't want $5 off a burrito. They want to hear, they want to hear marimba. Like get a band.
Exactly. I think yeah, that basically says that maybe the one strategy could be reserve your ex- exquisite experiences for slow days. That means if you plan to do jazz music or live bands, r- it would be a good idea to reserve it for your slow days.
I mean, if that's what your neighborhood can tolerate, you know what I mean?
Exactly, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to own a bar in the East Village. Here's a fun one we figured out, right? So in New York City, in the East Village, there's no foot traffic, right? Other than weekends, because there's no business, there's no like offices there. It's where people live. Okay, so Friday and Saturday night, you're packed because people want to go down the block, they want to go to the bar, blah, blah. But like, Monday at 5 p.m., people are in Midtown and then they go home, they go to the gym and they're done, right? So like we were facing that battle sort of Monday through Wednesday-ish, right? We're looking at who was available, who wanted to go out. And so you know what we did? This actually fueled that business for years. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m., reservation only, maximum of 20 people. We did a $10 beer tasting. Now it sounds like a discount, but it wasn't. Okay. So a pint of beer, 16 ounces in our bar was $7. Okay. In this case, you got 3 or 4 2-ounce tastings. So you actually got less beer and paid us more money, but it was an event and it was 20 people and we would bring in a beer rep or I would come in and host it or they were all themed. We'd have like hop elevations, we'd pair them to music, we'd have food, blah, blah, blah. Arun, it took probably 90 days. You couldn't get a seat on Wednesdays for years there. And it made people come to the neighborhood at a time that they were not going to come in. And then we were busy for the rest of the night. And so like that simple little like, okay, how do we get people here on a Wednesday with a premium offer that feels like a discount and they had to make a reservation? We built our CRM. We were busy on Wednesdays. We were known for something really unique and cool. There was lots of profitability in it and it drove our business. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But it took,
So
it wasn't just like, oh, let's do a happy hour. It was like, what can we do that will make people come here at a time that this is not their habit?
exactly right. So that to the point, it does not always have to be discount. So you can think creatively to ensure that people are given a perceived additional value on those slow periods, and that's how you can make them come.
Amen. Or you could just have clowns. Just bring your kids and have clowns. Okay. So step one, understand your data, right? Take a look. Number two, now that's in order, you got to create segments. Number three, come up with some campaigns. Okay. What's next?
I think we already talked about loyalty programs, so having some sort of a CRM so that you can have very specific targeted campaigns targeting for. It's not like everybody coming on a Wednesday. You just basically say, I define this Wednesday. I have a campaign which is specifically for people who love this product or people who tend to be weekend visitors. So I can have more fine grained, campaigns. Then I also, at the beginning, also I mentioned about partnerships and cross promotions. So identify businesses who are doing well during those slow times. So someone else is, as I said, someone else is busy during that time. Your slow time means someone else is attracting those customers to do something else, right? They're going to gym or they are attending events or whatever. Partner with those businesses and to drive traffic to your store.
Sure, you need to be able to execute this. And I would urge everybody, here's the thing. I see a lot of restaurants and bars try this stuff and like they don't stick with it. Okay, you have to be consistent. Okay, you can't send one email through your CRM or one loyalty offer and like expect the world, right? You have to be consistent. I would tell everybody give it a minimum of 90 days. Like, it's not like you just set it and forget it for 90 days. You got to manage it. But like if you're going to launch a new program based on your data, based on understanding your neighborhood, at whatever it is, karaoke Mondays, buy one, get one free too, whatever the heck you're going to do, 90 days. And you have to use all of your channels, right? Not just loyalty, not just email. You got to put it on Google. Maybe you run some advertising. You have to think four walls marketing. Like you got to make it a thing. just putting it up on social media, like, that's like throwing, it's like throwing a penny down a hallway. Like, it's gonna hit the wall. Maybe it's not. So yeah, be consistent. Give it 3 months. Use all your channels, and then also like I think creativity comes into play here. Like if it's just like, hey, we got beer buckets for $20. Like, okay, what
I
can you
think
do? What can you do with the beer bucket? You know what I mean?
exactly, Rav. I think you touched upon an important part. Like, so this has to be a branded, themed attempt, like karaoke Mondays, you said, or uh, double star Wednesdays, for example. Instead of saying that, hey, come to a Wednesday, I'll give you 10% discount. That's not what you want to do. You want to brand that program. You say double star or Monday rewards. It could be something like that, so the people, your customers know that there is something special going on Mondays, and I expect something more on Mondays or something more on Wednesdays, whatever it is. So you have to theme it, you have to brand it. That will have a better effect rather than just doing some campaigns, which is randomized. So consistency and then branding is also, I believe, is important. Branding of that particular marketing campaign.
Yeah, you make a good point because here's the thing. Like if I want a $10 cheeseburger and a beer, I have 15 options in my neighborhood. If I want to buy one get one free item, I can just open up Grubhub. Like just because it's a discount or offer is not the driver. It has to be like an experience. It has to be on brand. It has to like it can't just be the offer. It's like, oh, that's the place I want that thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. Thank you.
I mean, I would lean towards explicit experiences if you can, if it's relevant, right? Like it could be musics or anything, whatever. Okay, Monday, there's going to be painting show in my restaurant. I'm just making it up. I'm saying if you can, if it's relevant, I would lean more towards exquisite experiences rather than just plain discounts. I mean, plain discounts could be a complimentary thing, but that's what I would lean towards.
You'll laugh. All right. Last thing I'm going to say before we wrap this fun story. So me and my kid dine out once or twice a week. And last week we went to a restaurant that has every deal possible. A $10 this, a double reward that. Like they're running all the things. And you know why we went there? None of those reasons. We went there, number one, because they have a win every time crane game. So you put in the dollar, like you're guaranteed a prize. And they have like video games on the table. Like we didn't care. The discount meant nothing. It was totally because, oh, that's a fun place to go eat. Right?
Right, right. See, fundamentally, right, somewhere it is a discount, but you're not packaging it as a discount. What I'm saying is that you are giving some extra value to the customer, or it could be just like, hey, Monday games day. You're going to play some sort of a game there, and then it could be simple scratch and win game, or it could be a little more funnier game than that, and the winners get some sort of a preferential treatment. But you're not packaging it as a straightforward discount.
Heard. Okay. I will send you an invite to Dungeons and Dragons night at Handcraft Burgers and Brew.
Oh, you're already doing it, Rav. Great.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this conversation, can you please share the episode with a friend who might also find it helpful? And remember to give us a rating right now. That helps us to spread the word to others who might find this valuable like you do. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the perfect Instagram optimization plan according to Meta. I had a crazy phone call with a Meta optimization specialist, and we're going to reveal the secrets that they share with me on our next show. So make sure you hit subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss out on an episode from us. Cheers.